Jemai, how are you? Well, it's a very wet Wednesday here, so I thought I would film the promised scrapbooking jargon busting video. Now, this is especially for Aled in work, so I'm just warning him now that if there will be a test on this tomorrow, so I hope he's got I hope he's gonna do a little bit of homework now. I think when you start scrapbooking, it's a bit of a mysterious world, but actually it's all quite easy. It's all about scrapbooking your favourite memories. You don't have to have all the new paper collections. You don't have to have all the electronic machines. Obviously, once you get into it further, you might decide, yeah, this is what you really want to do, and then you start adding to your collection. But to start with, you need a few basic things. This list that I've created, my A to W as I'm calling it, has just got some of the things that I think about when I'm thinking about scrapbooking. The most important thing are your memories and your photos. That's what it all boils down to. So you need somewhere to store those beautiful pages you're going to create, and you've got a choice of two different kinds of albums. You've got, this is called a postbound album, and you can see there that you've got this binding that's keeping all your pages in place. Then you've got something that's called a ring bound album, which does exactly what it says on the tin, and it's an album and all your pages then clip on to the rings inside. This enables you to create fatter pages quite often and to add more pages in. Ring bound albums tend to have a set number of pages. This one has got 10 page protectors, which are these clear packets here that you put your layouts into, which gives you 20 pages in the book. With a ring bound album, you can add far more in. ATG. Now I have talked about my ATG gun in my card making and my scrapbooking videos, and I think it's an automatic tape glider. So what it is, on here is my double-sided tape, and when I want to stick something down, I just go press that little button. The tape then sticks to the card, and Bob's your uncle. You can stick your work, I'm thinking about school there. You can stick anything you need to onto your card or your scrapbook layout. You can just use wet glue, so you've got lots of choice of wet glue, a bit like your PVA that you get in school. Tombow here. You can use just normal double-sided tape. You can use spray adhesive, lots of different things, but I love my ATG. A Big Shot. This is a Big Shot, and if you can see it here, it's a machine that cuts out die cuts using, you might either use, this is a Sizzix die, and what it is in here is the steel cutting plate, and as it goes through the rollers, you make a bit of a sandwich. So you've got your one on the bottom, you've got your die cutting thing, you might have then your piece of cardstock or paper, then the other one then goes on top, feed it through the machine, and it will cut whatever pattern you've got on there. It also cuts a variety of materials, including very thin metal and wood. It also cuts things which are called framelets. Now I'm going out of order now on my list. These are framelets. Here they are. And they are a bit like the Sizzix die, but they are just the metal piece that's inside. They wouldn't cut the thicker items like your metal and your wood, because they're not sturdy enough. I love my Big Shot. I've got electronic cutting machines as well, which I'll get onto further down the list, but the one I reach for all the time is my trusty Big Shot. There's variety of machines like this. It is just a die cutting machine. They're made by lots and lots of different companies. It's just that this is my one of choice, and it filled in B on my alphabet as well. So cardstock, We tend to use cardstock. Now this is 12 by 12. You can scrapbook in all kinds of sizes. I'm a 12 by 12 scrapbooker. You can do 9 by 12. You can do 8 by 8, 6 by 6. But the cardstock is usually what forms the base of your page, or you can use scrapbooking paper. We'll get to paper further down my list. So this is cardstock. You can get all different types, all different textures, thicknesses, and of course a rainbow of colours. Next one, die cuts. Now, as I showed you my Big Shot, they make die cuts, or you buy pre-made die cuts with the image printed on and ready cut. This here, I've also got stamp sets that match the framelets, and I can make my own die cuts. This is one here which I have stamped, coloured and cut out myself. But for scrapbooking, you often get the packs that match the paper collections, so it's a one-stop shop. Embossing folders. No, I've missed, sorry, embellishments next. Embellishments are really the pretties that you add to your page. So I've started making some of my own embellishments. So this would be an embellishment cluster. It's just a little group of them together. And you might make them in different colours. There we go. So these are my embellishment clusters. So embellishments are the pretties that you add to your page. It's as simple as that, really. I'm going to move those to one side. Embossing folders. This is an embossing folder. It's a bit of plastic which is hinged. You put your piece of card or paper in there and you feed it through your Big Shot machine. So in a true Blue Peter style, this is one I've made earlier. If you can see here the brick layout, that is created by this embossing folder. These items here have all been stamped and then cut out using the framelets. So I've created my own die cuts. Ephemera. This was probably the one that has taken me the longest to learn to say. Ephemera is really collectible memorabilia. So for me, that might be tickets when I've gone to see a show, when I've gone to see a concert. It might be your boarding passes when you've gone on the plane. It might be brochures of places you visited. Anything that you want to collect and keep. That's ephemera. Framelets. They were the ones I was saying to you about. They're often created to match stamps. So you stamp them and then cut out the item. Journaling. The most important part, I think, of scrapbooking is collecting those memories. However, if you only ever use photos, in years to come, when you've left this mortal coil, unless you've got a bit of journaling on there, those photos will mean absolutely nothing to the people left behind looking at your albums. So the journaling is the writing. So I've got, there we go. This is a different kind of scrapbooking, which I'll talk about in a second, but your journaling is whatever memories you write down. It might be to say where the photo was taken. It might say how you felt on that day. It could be about a special occasion. But the most important thing is, and I know lots of us scrapbookers say, oh, I don't like my writing. Get the memories down to leave behind for the next generation. Mixed media. Now this is one that I've recently got into, really. I've been scrapbooking now about 14 years. And I suppose I'm quite new to the party when it comes to to mixed media. Mixed media is quite simply using different types of media on your scrapbook pages. So it could be like paste, like embellishment mousse. It could be sprays. It could be paint. It could be crayons. It could be texture paste. It could be watercolours. It could just be an ink pad. Anything, any other media that you are adding to your page. So let me show you one here I've done. This one here, this page I've done here, has, you can see here, some shimmery paste added. These are watercolour paints. this year are splatters then of the watercolour paints. So it's just the different medias you add to a scrapbook page to change the texture of it or to add a bit of colour. Page protectors. They do exactly what they say on the tin. They protect your pages. So again, this is a 12 by 12 one. You would have them in different sizes. And they then, if you're using a ring bound album, the one, remember we said we can add lots more pages in. If you see these holes here, they're a bit like Polly Pockets. You slide your page in there, put it into your album to keep it nice and safe and to keep it dust free. Paper. Now this is probably one of the things scrapbookers love the most, are all the different pretty papers you can use to show off your photos and your memories. They're often double-sided, like this one. They're thinner than cardstock, but you can do such a lot with them. You can layer them up. There we go. You can cut things out of them. You can cut them into strips. You can do such a lot with different papers. Layering them up is really nice because you can see then all the different patterns that build up then. There's another one I've done. You can see I've used strips of paper there. And it's probably what scrapbookers have the biggest hoard of. Well, I certainly have in my craft room. Project Life. Now, Project Life is a pocket style scrapbooking. So instead of having the big 12 by 12 pages, you use pages which have lots of little pockets in. So there we are. Let me take this one out. I'm going to be doing a Project Life album about this year. I'm going to do one for each week. So as you can see, it's all built on little pockets. And then you would use these little cards, which are called Project Life cards, or papers cut to this size, to use those then for memory keeping. Project Life was designed by Becky Higgins as an easier way of scrapbooking, as a more manageable way, I suppose, and also a way of collecting and saving lots and lots of different memories. A silhouette. Now a silhouette is an electronic die cutting machine. I'm going to see if I can pull this mine in. Here it is. Here's my silhouette. So it's connected to my laptop. The newer ones now work on Bluetooth or Wi-Fi as well. I work on my laptop then, or you can use an iPad and create my design, my cutting design, press some buttons, feed my card through here on a cutting mat. Excuse the state of mine, it needs a bit of a clean. And then your cut design comes out the other side. Well, it comes out the same side, but it's all cut up. Let me show you one. This is, you can often download them from different places. So I've got a silhouette. You can also get Cricut machines. And I can't think of any others, but they are the ones that I know of. I've also got a Cricut machine which runs on a little cartridge. But this year, I cut on my silhouette, and as you can see, it can cut really intricate designs. This one is 12 inches across, but they can go up. You can create massive designs using your silhouette or your Cricut. Stencils. Now these, I can always remember when I was a child having alphabet stencils that you'd use with your pen. Well, luckily enough, they have come on quite a long way since then. So stencils are usually plastic. You can have them paper, but they don't last so long. You will put it on your page, apply whatever medium. It could be your crayons, it could be a mousse, it could be ink, it could be paints, it could be paste. Through your stencils, lift your stencil off, and the design then is left on the background. So if you have a look at this one here, this page here, I've used a stencil with paste to add these holly leaves to the background. Thickers. Now thickers are a make. Often scrapbookers say, oh, I've got so many thickers. What they actually mean is they've got lots of alphabets. So you get them in lots of different materials. You can get corrugated card, shiny ones, colourful ones, chipboard, foam, felt, but they are just all different alphabets. Trimmers. Trimmers are paper cutters. Now I call it a trimmer. People might call it other things. I use this one, which is a rotary cutter. It's got a rotary blade there that you and then you cut it up to the line. Or this is my other one. And you've got a cutting blade on it then, which when it gets a bit blunt, you take it out, pop your new one in. I must say, I use both of them. If I wanted to use a 12 by 12 piece of paper, but I didn't want to waste the middle of it because I was sticking lots of things on it, I would gut it. We call it gutting when you take out the middle of the paper and leave yourself a frame of paper. Last but not least, this is probably another thing that scrapbookers have got a real hoard of, and that's washi tape. And washi tape, I think is Japanese. Is a very thin, tearable paper tape, which has got lots and lots of different patterns on. You can get them in glitter, shiny, different paper, different colours. You can get thick ones, you can get thin ones. So they are washi tapes. So I hope that's been helpful for you. If there's anything else that you're unsure of, please post in the comments below and I'll see if I can help you. I'm not an expert. This is just what I've picked up in my years of scrapbooking. But I would love to find out what kind of scrapbooking you do. Do you do traditional 12 by 12 scrapbooking? Are you a Project Life scrapbooker? Do you do a mixture? You might be hybrid, which means you use some digital scrapbooking as well as paper and things like that. And thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, but you'd like to see some of my other videos and you'd like to see what else I'm getting up to, please, please, please hit the subscribe button below, press the little bell, and it'll tell you all about my new videos. Thank you ever so much for watching. Aled, I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you all soon. Hwyl fawr.